Hey, my name's Peter Howard. I make Dynasty Fantasy Football content here on YouTube and on Twitter and for DLF and for Player Profiler for a couple of years and pretty much everywhere. This week, just before week 17 hit, I wanted to highlight one neat feature of the data that I put out on a weekly basis that might be really useful for those that are still in the playoffs and thinking about their start-sit decisions for next week. So yeah, let's do that. Sorry, I'm a mess. I'm following metrics against advice. I'm just turning on the camera and let's talk a minute about this damn sheet. Where can you find it? You go to my Twitter or use my LinkedIn Linktree link in the bio of YouTube. And my pinned tweet during the season is always this sheet that I'm collecting weekly data for that season on. If you want the history of it, that's a Patreon thing. It's behind the whole $1 paywall. Because, you know, I'm like that. I'm mean like that. Give me $1. And you go to it, and this is the first thing you see on Google Sheets. It sends you to the Patreon. You click on the Patreon link, and it sends you straight to the Google Sheet. If you want to download it, you can go to File, make a copy, or you can just go to Download and download in Excel, or download as a CSV, or however you download things. Or you can just use two of the tabs in the link, and that's the Points Per Game tab, where you're seeing stats on a player level, on a per game basis, or a team level. It's got a few different tables in it too. You can look on a weekly basis, or you can look at a team specifically by position rank. You also have the season-long stats, like I was talking about. It's adding up their season-long stats for 2022. It's got some other information like draft year, career year, stuff like that. And all the weekly data, so like everything Tom Brady did week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 in order, is in the weekly tab. Weekly player stats, it's called. It's a very controversial name, I know. And then in the team weekly tab, you can see the data that's kind of in this quick view table over here. You can look one team at a time, whereas the weekly team stats tab has every team every week. And all their stats. I'm also adding up some of their seasonal numbers in here just for a quick reference. But if you scroll over, you see everything they did in any particular week. I know, it's a lot, right? It takes me a lot. I've also got defensive stats because Dynasty Outhouse asked for them. So I just started adding up, like, passing touchdowns a game allowed by each defense. What else is here? Rushing yards allowed by each defense. That's what that is. And also a glossary. So if you're not familiar with any of the stats, you can just go look at the glossary. It tells you what that acronym means, because nerds have way too many acronyms. Alright. But also the calculation, because some of the stuff I found that's difficult in trying to keep up with the smart people is, how do you calculate that? It's not nearly as public as you might think. So I'm actually going to open up the Excel sheet for this, because I have a little bit more control over it. Let's zoom in, because honestly, how can you see anything if I don't? Alright, there we go. Okay, so this is a points per game tab. It's got drop-down menus, so you can select the position you want to look at, and if you're in the Patreon version, you can select from several different years. But the one that I've got pinned is just 2022. And we're going to look at wide receivers to start with. On the left here, you have their overall position rank that season, and their points per game rank. Everything filters through this points per game rank. I just added in the total position rank because sometimes, again, I just want to see things quickly. That's what this tab is for. Let's collapse the age, career year, and games. And over here, this orange section right here, you can actually determine how many weeks the table's looking up. But you can actually see their total stats or their week-by-week stats in the other tabs. But this specific page just looks up what's going on however you recently. It's meant to be a quicker view on a position per game basis. Let's see, it's week 16. Week 16 just happened, so if you want to see who's been scoring the most points since week 14, then that's the last 3 weeks. So you just type 3 into that little box there. It's not a drop-down menu. I just assume people can make up whatever number they want to see. If you do limit it to just the last 3 weeks, what you can do is remove, what I would do is remove anything that doesn't have a result, which is the little dash symbol, and then sort. So here are the players in the wide receiver position that have scored the most points over the last 3 weeks, and it's Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Greg Dortch, but also notice Greg Dortch has only played 1 game, Devontae Smith has played 3 games, Tyreek Hill has played 3 games, and then the next 2. You can also see that CeeDee Lamb is, what is this, 6th highest scoring wide receiver on a per game basis during the playoffs, and really it's 5th because Greg Dodge doesn't count. And you can do the same thing if you just switch it over to running back. Who's been scoring the most points in the fantasy players at running back? Just switch it to the running back position. Christian McCaffrey, Jarrett McKinnon, James Conner, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley. They've all played 3 games, except for Austin Eckler. I've only got 2 games since week 14. Yeah, I don't have week 16 data for him yet, and I know he played in week 16. Again, I update throughout the week. The stats don't all drop at the same time, and I'm recording this even though week 16 the Chargers have played. His stats haven't filtered into the various avenues I find stats for yet. So he's going to stay in the top 5 either way. Let's see who's scoring the most at the quarterback position. Since week 14, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence? Oh yeah, Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Lance, and Kirk Cousins. These 2 actually come up slightly higher for me because I was filtering by 2 weeks when I was talking about it on Twitter. But since week 14, sort highest to smallest. Evan Ingram is a league winner this year, which fits the league winner video we did this offseason, by the way. Tight ends, man. George Kittle, Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson, Tyler Higbee. And that's it. That's how you see who's scoring points within a given window. Now, it also carries a splits tab in the Patreon version when I upload for the version for you guys and everyone. It's not just you guys. I'd love to say it's just you. Obviously, you're the most important thing to me. But, yeah. It's for everyone. I can't help it. I just want to help. I just want to win some fantasy leagues. I just want to make my friends cry. Anyway, that's it. And again, if you're interested in it, Linktree link, or just go straight to my Twitter at Pahowdy. There's no way of me knowing if you ever do that, by the way. So if you want to let me know, drop a comment or tell me on Twitter or whatever. It is nice to know when people are finding it useful and what they're finding useful and what they'd like to see changed or what they'd like to see different. That's why the points per game tab exists, because at some point someone was like, I just want a simplified per game. Can we just not have all of this? I don't want to filter it myself. I don't want to look through all of this. Like, it does have all data. Like, as much as I can find, it's got target share, it's got route participation, it's got expected points from RotoViz, because my patrons have had me behind that paywall for a while. It's got Whopper, it's got all air yards, it's got expected points added. It's most things. It's got elusive rating, it's got yards after contact per attempt, again from PFF. So I recently found one that I have, but I wasn't including because I didn't know anyone was interested in it, which is called target rate, which is target per route, basically. And so I have that in there, and I imported it into the points per game tab. So, like, again, and it's just click, it's yours. Playing fantasy football is frustrating enough. It shouldn't be this hard, to find all the things that you're interested in from a data perspective all in one place. But anyway, that's why I do it. That's where it is. There's one thing you can do with it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thanks very much.